The HAARP facility, nestled deep in the wilderness of Alaska, has been the subject of conspiracy theories for decades. Some claim it can control the weather, causing hurricanes, storms, and even droughts. But what is HAARP, and is there any truth to these bold claims? In this video, we're diving deep into HAARP, exploring its real purpose, and breaking down the science behind the wild theories of weather manipulation. To understand the claims, we first need to know what HAARP is. The High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, or HAARP, was launched in 1993 by the U.S. military and several research institutions. Its primary goal? To study the ionosphere. The ionosphere is a layer of Earth's atmosphere located about 50 to 600 miles above the surface. It plays a crucial role in radio communications, as it can reflect radio waves over long distances. HAARP was designed to send high-frequency radio waves into the ionosphere to better understand how it works and to improve things like military communications and satellite navigation. But does that sound like something capable of controlling the weather? Let's take a closer look. Weather is driven by complex processes happening in the troposphere, the layer of the atmosphere just above Earth's surface. Sunlight, temperature changes, humidity, and air pressure all interact to create phenomena like clouds, rain, and storms. In contrast, HAARP's research takes place in the ionosphere, far above where weather systems form. While the ionosphere is important for communication, it doesn't directly affect the weather. The ionosphere is too high up to influence the formation of clouds or storms. Even HAARP's most powerful radio waves are too weak and too limited in scope to change atmospheric conditions below the ionosphere. So where did the idea of HAARP controlling the weather come from? Theories began circulating soon after HAARP's construction in the 1990s, fueled by its association with the military and the secrecy surrounding some of its operations. Conspiracy theorists claimed HAARP could manipulate the weather, trigger earthquakes, and even control people's minds. The internet helped these ideas spread like wildfire, as speculation grew with little scientific evidence. Some pointed to natural disasters like hurricanes or heat waves as proof that HAARP was being used to manipulate global weather. But is there any truth to these claims? The idea that governments can control the weather is a topic that has sparked conspiracy theories, but there is no solid evidence to suggest that any government has the capability to fully control or manipulate the weather on a large scale. However, there are some methods that have been developed to influence weather patterns to a limited extent. Cloud seeding. This is a process where substances like silver iodide or salt are released into clouds to encourage precipitation. It has been used in various countries to try and increase rainfall, disperse fog, or reduce hail. While cloud seeding can influence local weather conditions, its effects are limited and not entirely predictable. Hurricane modification. There have been research efforts, particularly during the mid-20th century, to explore ways to weaken or redirect hurricanes. However, these attempts were largely unsuccessful, and no effective method for hurricane control has been developed. Geoengineering. Some scientists have proposed more ambitious ideas, like reflecting sunlight back into space or injecting particles into the atmosphere to cool the Earth as a way to combat climate change. These methods are still in the research phase and have not been implemented, partly due to concerns about potential side effects and ethical considerations. While governments and scientific organizations may experiment with localized weather modification techniques, the idea of large-scale weather control, such as making it rain on demand or steering storms, remains mostly science fiction. The weather is a complex system that cannot be easily manipulated. Experts in atmospheric science and meteorology have repeatedly debunked the notion that HAARP could control the weather. In reality, weather systems are driven by forces far beyond human manipulation, involving large-scale changes in temperature, moisture, and pressure. HAARP's high-frequency radio waves affect only a small portion of the ionosphere and have limited temporary impacts. Even if it could affect a tiny part of the atmosphere, those effects wouldn't translate to large-scale weather changes. To put it in perspective, the energy HAARP generates is minuscule compared to the energy the sun delivers to the Earth every day. Trying to influence the weather with HAARP would be like trying to change the temperature of the ocean with a hairdryer. While HAARP can't control the weather, it does have important scientific applications. By studying the ionosphere, researchers hope to improve GPS accuracy, enhance radio communications, and better predict space weather, like solar flares, that can affect Earth's technology. In fact, HAARP's research is crucial for understanding how space weather impacts our technology here on Earth. Solar flares, for instance, can disrupt communication networks, and HAARP is helping us mitigate these effects. So while HAARP is a powerful tool for understanding the ionosphere, it's far from a weather control machine. The idea of controlling the weather is a compelling one, and it's easy to see the Doppler radar images of current weather that seem to imply that they are directing weather towards specific areas. But the implication that HAARP systems have been installed around all the infected areas to specifically direct major weather events would require large-scale cooperation. And would any large-scale cooperation go unnoticed? If our scientific resources had such capabilities, would they be used against our own society? When it comes to HAARP, the science is clear. HAARP's radio waves are focused on studying the ionosphere, not manipulating storms or creating hurricanes. While it's easy to see why people might be drawn to these theories, the evidence simply doesn't back them up. Weather remains a natural phenomenon, driven by forces much larger than anything humans can control, at least for now. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful in debunking the myths, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into fascinating topics. Got a question or another conspiracy theory you want us to break down? Drop it in the comments below. See you in the next video.